החמה מראש האילנות נסתלקה, בוא ונצא לקראת שבת המלכה. הנה היא יורדת הקדושה הברוכה, ונעימה המלאכים צבא שלום ומנוחה. בואי בואי המלכה, בואי בואי הכלה, שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם, מלאכי השלום. בואי בואי המלכה, בואי בואי הכלה, שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם, שלום עליכם, מלאכי השלום.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom. When I was being interviewed for the position here at Beit David, I was asked how I was on a ladder and how good I was with high windows. And at the time, I did not understand at all why they were asking me all of those questions, but now it all became very clear. Sorry? Yeah, but we still need to find a way with these ones, but I hope that it's not as windy, as cold inside as it was before. So we'll start with lighting the candles. I'd like to invite Gail to come.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivarnu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, Yasher Koach. So I am I have a cold, so my voice usually is not the best, but tonight is going to be even worse, and I apologize. But we turn to page 130. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria, letzuri sheinu, letzuri sheinu. Naria, naria, letzuri sheinu, letzuri sheinu. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Nekadma fanav betoda, bizmiro naria lo. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. Page 131, Psalm 96. So if people were inspired, I'd like to resume the the practice that we had at the beginning of the year when I was here, that on Psalm 96 people bring poems to read, and then they will send me the poems during the week, and then I will tell them, okay, you're going to read on Friday, so please, if you are inspired, send me a poem during the week, and you can read it on Kabbalat Shabbat on Friday. Page 132, actually. Sing to God a new song. Sing to God, all the earth. Sing to God, bless God's name. Proclaim God's victory day after day. Tell of God's glory among the nations, God's wondrous deeds among all peoples. For Adonai is great and much acclaimed. God is held in awe by all divine beings. All the gods of the peoples are mere idols, but Adonai made the heavens. Glory and majesty are before God. Strength and splendor are in God's temple. Let's read together. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth exult. Let the sea and all within it thunder. The fields and everything in them exult. Then shall all the trees of the forest shout for joy at the presence of Adonai, for God is coming. For God is coming to rule the earth. God will rule the world justly and its people in faithfulness. Psalm 97, page 132. Adonai malach dagel haaretz ezmechu iyim rabim, anan verafel svivav, tzedek umishpat, machon kis'o. Ohavei Adonai sineu ra, shomer nefashot chasidav, miyad reshaim yatzilem. Or zaru al tzadik ulishrei lev simcha, simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, ve'odu lezecher kodsho. We turn to page 134. We are on the third line in Hebrew, Zamru Adonai Bechinor.
Zimra, because it's road, because shofar, Hari lifnei hamelech Adonai, Yiramaya umelo, Tevel veyoshveva, Zamru l'Adonai, Zamru l'Adonai, Zamru l'Adonai bechino, Zamru Zimra, Bechatzot, Vekot Shofar, Hari lifnei hamelech Adonai, Yiramaya umelo, Tevel veyoshveva, Zamru l'Adonai, Zamru l'Adonai, Zamru l'Adonai bechino, Zamru Zamru l'Adonai, Zamru l'Adonai b'kol zimra, Zamru l'Adonai, Zamru l'Adonai, Zamru l'Adonai b'chino, Zamru l'Adonai, Zamru l'Adonai, Zamru l'Adonai b'kol shofar, Zamru l'Adonai b'kol zimra,
Page 135, Psalm 99. God enthroned on cherubim is sovereign, peoples tremble, the earth quakes. God is great in Sion and exalted above all peoples. They praise your name as great and awesome. God is holy, mighty ruler who loves justice. It was you who established equity, you who worked righteous judgment in Yaakov. Exalt Adonai your God and bow down on God's footstool. God is holy. Let's read it together. Exalt Adonai your God and bow toward God's holy hill, for Adonai is our God is holy. Page 136, Psalm 29. מזמור לדוד, אבו לאדוני בני אלים, אבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, אבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד עירים, אדוני על מים רבים. כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני בהדר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל, לבנון וסריון, כמו בן ראמים. כל אדוני חובד צלבות אש, כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יחולל איילות, ויחשוף יערות ויחלוק כולו אומר כבוד. אדוני למבול ישב, וישב אדוני מלך לעולם. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, may God grant strength to our people. אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. May God grant our people peace. Page 138, לך דודי.
לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתהילה לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה ומחשבה תחילה לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך ימלוכה, קום יצאים מתוך ההפכה, רב לך שבט ועמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך עם לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך כמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לה 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 לה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לה לה.
Okay, time for congregational greeting. Walk around, say hello to people. Shabbat Shalom. Okay. Page 141. Page 141, Psalm 93. Adonai malach geut lavesh, lavesh Adonai ozet azad, aftikon tevel baltimot, nachon kisacha meaz, meolam ata. Do I need to read an extra line? Okay. Naseu ne'arot Adonai. Naseu ne'arot kolam.
Mikolot Maim Rabim, Adirim, Mishpereim, Mikolot Maim Rabim, Adirim, Mishpereim, Die, Adir Bamarom Adonai, 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 Adir Bamarom Adonai.
We turn to page 144. Please stand for the Chetzi Kaddish.
Yitkador v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. Amen. B'alma divarach Yiruti v'yamlik malchuti. B'chai yichon av'yomechon uv'chai yidechol Beit Yisrael. Bakal avizman karit ve'himeru. Amen. Yesh merhaba mevorach le'olam olol me'al maya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemed kodsho brichu le'la min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imeru. Amen.
Page 146. Barichu. Barichu et Adonai amevorach. Baruch Adonai amevorach leolam vaed. Baruch Adonai amevorach leolam vaed. You may be seated. Blessed are you.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv arabim, ma'ariv arabim. בחוכמה פותח שערים, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם, ברקיע כרצונו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים. המעריב הרבים.
Amen. Page 151. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel. Page 152. Please stand for the Shema Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam va'ed. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto leolam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Page 154. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hands, and let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת לכם, ועשו לכם ציצית על כנפי בגדיכם לדרותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף תלת-חלץ. והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, זכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם. ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם. למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, לחיות לכם לאלוהים. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. You may be seated. אמת ואמונה כל זאת וקיים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואין זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו. All these we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. We are on 4 lines from the bottom up. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליכם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו חולם.
מי כמוך פעילים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אוסף אלה. אוסף אלה, אוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקר הים לפני משה, משה ומרים, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד. מי כמוך פעילים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אוסף אלה.
As it is said, God redeemed Yaakov from a hand stronger than his own. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Israel. Page 160. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our sovereign, to life renewed. Spread over us the sukkah of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel for your name's sake. Be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai, aporei sukat shalom, aleinu vel kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 162.
ישמחו במלאכותך, ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי עונג עונג שבת. ישמחו במלאכותך, ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי עונג עונג שבת. המקדשי, המקדשי שבי, המקדשי, המקדשי שבי, כולם יספרו, יספרו ויתענגו מטובך. ישמחו במלאכותך, ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי עונג עונג שבת. והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו, והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו שבת. חמדת ימים, חמדת ימים אותו קראת, חמדת ימים אותו קראת, בראשית, זכר מעשה בראשית שבת. ישמחו במלאכותך, ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי עונג שבת.
Please stand for the Amidah that starts on page 164. La da 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 Adonai. La da 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 Sfatai tiftach. La da 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 Ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora El Elyon גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם למען שמו באחווה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממית ומחיים ממית ומחיים ומצמיח ישועה מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך ממית ומחיים ממית ומחיים ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. You're holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. אתה קדשתו את יום השביעי לשמך, תכלית מעשה שמיים וארץ, וברכתו מכל הימים, וקדשתו מכל הזמנים, וכן כתוב בתורתך. Page 173. Disturb us, O God, ruffle us from our complacency, make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the whore, the defeat, the bitterness and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, O God, deny to us the false Shabbat which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred.
Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignances rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not the shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Find favor, Adonai our God, with your people Israel, and accept their prayer and love. May the worship of your people Israel always be acceptable. God, who is near to all who call, turn lovingly to your servants. Pour out your Spirit upon us. Let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, amachazir shchinato leTzion.
מודים אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואלוהי אבותינו, אמותינו, לעולם ועד. צור חיינו מגן אישנו, אתה הוא לדור ודור. צור חיינו מגן אישנו, אתה הוא לדור ודור. מודים אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ואלוהי אבותינו, אמותינו, לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד.
נודה לך ונספר תחילתך על חיינו המסורים בידיך ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך ועל נשיך שבכל יום עמנו ועל נפלותיך וטובותיך שבכל עת, ערב, הבוקר וצהריים. הטוב כי לא חלו רחמיך, המרחם כי לא תמו חסדיך מעולם קיווינו לך. ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם שמך, מלכנו תמיד לעולם ועד. וכל החיים יודוך סלע וללו את שמך באמת. האל ישועתנו ועזרתנו סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך ולך נאה להודות. Page 178. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people, forever. For you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Baruch atah Adonai, amevarech et amo Israel bashalom. We'll keep a minute of silence. Shabbat Shalom. So from amongst the pedagogical tools for teaching Torah I've encountered in my career as a Jewish educator, one of the most powerful is called bibliodrama. It's a technique adapted from psychodrama in which we inhabit biblical characters to gain insights and empathy into their inner worlds. By hearing multiple perspectives, we read not only what the text states, but also what it implies and what it silences. I'd like tonight to use that technique without the acting to examine the story of the Akedah, the binding of Yitzhak and his almost sacrifice ordered by God, and see what this 360-degree approach reveals. What voices are missing from the narrative? What silences echo through the texts? So we'll start with Avraham. We first encounter him in this parasha, challenging God. Well, first the angels come, and he learns that he will have a son from Sarah. But then Avraham challenges God as no one had ever before, arguing passionately for Sodom and Gomorrah. Shall not the judge of all the earth deal justly? Yet when God asked him to sacrifice his son, the one through whom the covenant would continue, Avraham was silent. No argument, no challenge. We do not know whether this was out of fear, out of hope, of disappointment with the God who had destroyed Sodom and hadn't protected Ishmael when Sarah demanded his expulsion. According to the Talmuds, Satan approaches Avraham on the road. "Old man, are you out of your minds?" Rav Kook explains that Satan here represents Abraham's conscience, his internal struggle about whether he truly heard God's voice. Rabbi David Hartman observes, "We are not only amazed at the unintelligible demand of God, but dumbfounded when Avraham, who had so boldly stood before God and argued for justice, now submits unquestioningly." Perhaps Avraham was waiting for God to change God's mind. Perhaps his silence was not obedience but paralysis, the inability to know what God truly wanted. Second character in our analysis is Yitzhak. He walked beside his father for 3 days carrying the wood for his own sacrifice. By the way, the rabbis estimate that Yitzhak was 37 at the time of the Akedah. His question was achingly innocent. "Father, where's the lamb for the burnt offering?" Abraham's answer, "God will provide the lamb," remains one of the Torah's most ambiguous statements. Faith, evasion, desperate hope. According to another midrash, Yitzhak understood what was about to happen and asked his father to bite him tightly, lest I tremble and cause you to make a blemish. But the text later silences tell a darker story. After the Akedah, Yitzhak disappears from the narrative. Avraham and Yitzhak do not walk down the mountain together. Only Avraham returns to the servants. Ibn Ezra notes pointedly, it does not mention Yitzhak. Yitzhak is not present at his mother's funeral. The next time we see him, he lives separately from his father. How does a son rebuild trust with a father who bound him to an altar? The text silence is itself an answer. Some wounds are too deep for words. Third character, Sarah. Perhaps the most disturbing voice in the Akedah is the one who we never hear, Sarah's. God commands Avraham, Avraham obeys, Yitzhak is bound. But where is Sarah? According to Midrash Tanhuma, Avraham deliberately concealed his intention from her, fearing her reaction. Sarah was not consulted. She was not asked for consent. She was not informed. When she learned what occurred, the shock killed her. A Midrash tells us Satan went to Sarah and said, "Avraham took Yitzhak, your son, and slaughtered him." Sarah cried out, making sounds corresponding to the shofar blasts, and her soul burst forth from her, and she died. The text reveals Avraham came to mourn for Sarah. He came, suggesting he was elsewhere when she died. The Akedah was at Mount Moriah. Avraham returned to Beersheba, but Sarah died in Hebron. The family was geographically fractured even before her death. The American poet Eleanor Wilner imagined Sarah's voice in Sarah's Choice, a poem, after God approaches her asking for a sacrifice of Isaac. "No," said Sarah to the voice, "I will not be chosen, nor show my son if I can help it. Shame," she said, "for thinking me a fool, for asking such a thing. You must have known I would choose Yitzhak. What use have I for history? An arrow already bent when it is fired from the bow." In Wilner's Midrash, Sarah refuses the test. She chooses her son over the covenants, humanity over history, asking what might have happened if Sarah had been given a voice. Fourth character, the ram. One voice is rarely considered, the ram, caught in the thicket, immediately slaughtered in Yitzhak's place. It has no story, no agency. It simply appears and dies. Yet Jewish tradition remembers it. According to Pirkei Avot, that ram was created at twilight on creation's sixth day, always meant for this moment. Its horns became the shofarot we blow on Rosh Hashanah. When we hear the shofar's blast, what are we hearing? Sarah's cries or something else? The cry of the vulnerable, the voiceless, those sacrificed for purposes they do not understand. The ram reminds us that every one of our acts has a cost. God. The text begins, God tested Abraham. This should reassure us it was only a test. God never intended Yitzhak to die. But this raises more questions than it answers. What kind of test is this? What does it prove? At what costs? When Midrash in the Talmud offers a troubling backstory, Satan approached God and said, "To this old man you graciously granted the fruit of the womb at the age of 100. Yet of all that banquet which he prepared, he did not have one turtle dove or pigeon to sacrifice before you." God replied, "Yet, were I to say to him, 'Sacrifice your son before me,' he would so without hesitation." In this reading, the Akedah came about because of Satan's challenge, a cosmic wager not unlike the story of Job. Was Abraham's test then the result of divine pettiness, a need to prove something to Satan? According to the Talmud, God declares, "I never said to slaughter him, I merely said to raise him up." Another Midrash imagines God explaining, "When I said, 'Take your son,' I never said to slaughter him." These Midrashim suggest Abraham misunderstood God's intentions. But if so, why didn't God say so clearly? Why allow 3 days of anguish? Why permit the binding, the raised knife? Some say the Akedah taught the world that God does not desire human sacrifices. But surely there was a less dramatic way to convey that message. The text is unclear whether Abraham passes or fails. He demonstrates obedience, but loses his wife, his relationship with his son, and never again hears directly from God. Perhaps the most honest reading is that we cannot know God's intentions. Was Abraham supposed to obey, refuse, argue, as he had done for Sodom? A part of me wants to believe that this episode also changed the divine, who as a result would not test the people anymore and would not instruct senseless acts of destruction. Yet, the rest of Torah proves that this is not the case. Maybe God was the one who failed the tests. So, can we rebuild after the Akedah? The Torah offers no tidy reconciliation. Abraham returns alone, Sarah dies far away in Hebron, and only then does Abraham come to mourn her. Yitzhak is absent from both scenes. Later, however, he and Ishmael bury their father together. The family is not restored, yet a thread of obligation endures. This is a truthful hope. We cannot always mend what has been broken, but we can still choose presence, honor, and restraint. In the language of the Akedah, Holiness is often the moment we lower the knife. Perhaps this is the Akedah's most honest teaching. We can continue even when we cannot fully repair. But we can also choose, as Wilner Sarah does, to refuse the tests, to say, I will not be chosen. Sometimes the most faithful response is resistance. The power of bibliodrama is that it refuses single interpretations. When we inhabit Abraham, we feel his uncertainty. When we inhabit Yitzhak, we feel his betrayal. When we inhabit Sarah, we feel her exclusion. When we sit with the ram, we remember all who were sacrificed for grand narratives they do not understand. When we try to understand God's reasons, we remain baffled. The Akedah lays bare the terrible cost of acting without considering impact upon others. It shows how decisions made in isolation, without consulting those most affected, without considering resulting trauma, can shatter families. It reveals the complexity of discerning God's will when voices compete and certainty eludes us. As we read this parsha, let us honor all voices, spoken and silent, present and absent. Let us ask, what decisions are we making that affect others? Whose voices are we failing to hear? What trauma might result from our actions? Whose voices are we silencing in our certainty? May we have wisdom to listen before we act, courage to question our certainty, and humility to acknowledge when we have caused harm by failing to consider the full impact of our choices. Shabbat Shalom. We turn to page 587. I'd like to invite from all the people present, everyone, absolutely everyone who got married this past week. Did I say something funny? So apparently there's a new trend to have your honeymoon in Johannesburg. All over the world, people are coming to Johannesburg to spend their honeymoons. So the people from Johannesburg are also spending their honeymoons here. Please stand for Aleinu. We turn to page 371, the prayer for healing. משבח אבותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואמותינו, שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, ויברך את החולים, David Kruger, David Ben Leah, son of Lydia Kruger, Alan Jewson, father of Chrissy Collier, Yair Sham, Yair Ben Menashe Veshula, Lisa Leibov, Leah Bat Mincha, mother of Jesse Leibov, John Paul, Jonathan Ben Yosef, Paul Reuben, Velvel Ben Avraham, son of Tony Reuben, Naomi Schmitz, Nechama Soda Bat Chana, mother of Brenda Riznik, Rona Leaf, Hannah Raisa, Bat Kalman Verachel, Amanda Banfield, sister of Michelle Fryer, Ingrid Polak, Shida Ruth Bat Avraham, mother of Jethro Polak, Clive Hall, Uri Ben Avraham, Torsha Kit, Shlomit Ben Avraham Vesara, Eli Hennig, Eliyahu Ben Mordechai Vesara, Don Miller, friend of Gail Saul. הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליכם, להחלימם, לרפאותם, להחזיקם, וישלח להם מהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, השתה בגלה ובזמן קריב, ונאמר אמן. You may be seated. Hey, יישר כוח, מזל טוב, שבת שלום. So, page 592. When I die, give what's left of me away to children, an old man that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live on your eyes and not on your minds. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We honor and remember today Mira de la Har, mother of Alan Mandelbaum, Lucy Frank, mother of Haley and Tracy Frank, Chris Tibbles, mourned by his wife Arlene, children Joanne and Mike Norris, Nietzsche and Jeremy and grandchildren Daniel and Ryan. We also remember those who passed away this season in years past. Jay Groneman, sister of Hayden Goldman and sister-in-law of Len and Lola Groneman, and Sonia Lazarus, cousin of Myrna Margot. We also remember those who lost their lives in wars and those who have no one to remember them. If you are observing Shiva or Shloshim, if today marks the Yortides of someone for whom you're saying the morning Scottish, please stand and let the community recognize you. So we all stand and turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה על שמי דקודשה בריחו. לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. You may be seated. Header classes tomorrow at 9 a.m., Shabbat morning services at 10 a.m. The Tikkun Olam Project wishes to thank those congregants who have already made party pack donations for the children of Granny Evelyn's Care Center in Alexandria. We're asking for contributions of 36 rands per party pack For more details, contact Mora Diane McCall. Upcoming birthdays: Monty Hacker, Gary Bain, Ryan Licht, Myron Mayer, Daniel Fryer, Vanessa Carpel, Ashley Leibovitz, Angie Barr, Taryn Shobley, Tony Rubin, Selwyn Gluckman, Gia Libman, Hayden Goldman, and Justice, who works here at Beit David. Donations this week from Ellie Hennig, Morris Kotzen and family, George Levine, Richard Harris, Dario Guerrero, Alban Wilson, Lena Lona Gronman, and Adele Mamputa. Also thanks to Vision Works for the generous discounts to Beit David members for optometry and hearing requirements. Upcoming events: on Saturday, the 22nd of November, Ethan Bain will be called to the Torah as Bar-Mitzvah. For more congregational news, see the latest Ad Khan. We turn to page 627 with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Leon, Mi Melech, Malchi Amlakim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Leon, Mi Melech, Malchi Amlakim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Leon, Mi Melech, Malchi Amlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'chorin Lom, Shalom Aleichem, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Leon, Mi Melech, Malchi Amlakim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. B'chorin Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Leon, Mi Melech, Malchi Amlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zetchem L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Leon, Mi Melech, Malchi Amlakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachi HaShalom,